How are you, chat family, doing? Happy new week. Happy Monday. I wanted to come in with a topic. Shout out to my mods that's always holding it down. How are you doing, Miss Jackie? How's all of my chat family? Hi, Bella. How are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. I hope everybody's doing great. Everyone had an awesome weekend. I really appreciate every single one of you. I hope the volume is doing good. Today I wanted to talk to you all about the people who are just not good for us, okay? Now, I know that when we are younger, and I know that was me too. When I was younger and I didn't know who I was, we think that everybody is meant to be in our life. When it comes to relative, when it comes to friends, we think in a relationship that there are certain individuals that will just do right by us, and they just don't, because they're not good for us. Some individuals are very controlling and manipulative. They're opportunists. Good afternoon, Miss Tamika. How are you doing? If you guys could please hit the like, I'd really appreciate it. There are some people that are in our life that they don't deserve to have that space in our life. And we don't understand those things until we grow up, until we get mature. How are you doing, Kristen? Appreciate you being here. We don't understand those things until we start tapping into knowing who we are. So until we get to know who we are as grown women and get to know who we are as grown men. But a lot of people don't put in the work into themselves to even find out who they are. They are always looking for other people to fill in the voids, to fill in the missing pieces of who they are. See, somebody can't give you what you need. You have to already have that. And I went through that for many, many years, looking for a romantic relationship, looking for friendships, looking for other people to fill in the void that was inside of me. And there are some people who are opportunists when it comes to that. They know that you're seeking a certain thing, and they know that they can't give you. They know they can't give you love. They know that they can't give you consideration. They know that they can't be there and support you. They know that they're not mature enough. They know that they don't love you, but they're going to try to stick around for such a long time because you don't cut them off. So I say to all of you, chat family, don't let people stay in your life longer than they need to. When you realize that somebody is not helping you to elevate, when you realize that somebody is not helping you to grow, you need to let them go. And that's all there is to it. I'm clipping everyone right now. If I feel they are not equally loving and supportive, I have a bad habit of staying too long. Yes, Miss 702. And I think that a lot of people actually don't know who they are. They don't know who they are. And I know that being in that position, I'm a transparent and an honest person. I know that there was a lot of times that I stayed around longer than I should have because I didn't know who I was. I didn't think that I could get anybody better because I would listen to their foolishness. I listened to their lies, their propaganda, their all of it. And I would just be in that vibration because I didn't know myself. And to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, anybody who's listening, whether live or in the replay, we deserve way better than what we get. We deserve more than we take. And when I realized that I had to stop being a doormat, I had to stop, telling people what I wanted and for people to just be who they are. See, we have to let people be in our life organically. And if a person's not your vibe, it doesn't mean that they're a bad person. That's why I wanted to do this topic, because the topic is some people are just not good for us. It doesn't mean that every person is a bad person or an evil person. Some people is just not what we need in our life. And that's what I'm about right now. It's not that they may be a bad person. Yes, there are bad people. They are evil people. There are people who are opportunists and users and all of those toxic people, right? We all know them. But some people just, the vibe is not vibing, or they're an immature person, or they may be the person that you needed 5 years ago or 10 years ago, but it's not the person that you are now. When we evolve, when we elevate as mature women and as mature men, we have to have people in our life that are constantly maturing and growing as well. And sometimes we just outgrow people. It doesn't mean you're better. It doesn't mean you stop liking them, but you're on a different wavelength now. You're on a different elevation. You're focused. You're learning to love yourself. And that's the thing, is that sometimes people are in our life for a season. And when that season is over, then that's it. And I had to learn that for myself, like Miss 702 said, sometimes we hold on to people longer than we should, right? I know I do. I've held on to people for a very, very long time when I needed to release them, and I needed to send them back to wherever they came from, because either the purpose was served, maybe I learned the lesson, or whatever the case may be, or I found out that, how many of us are going to be 100% honest that sometimes we allow people to be in our life, but they never deserve to have that position in our life? That's some grown woman and some grown man stuff right there. That's some real talk, because I know for a lot of times when it comes to friendships, when it came to jobs, romantic relationships, even your own relatives, there are some people who never have deserved a place in your life because they don't, number one, they don't know themselves, or they're immature, or whatever the case may be. But some people don't deserve to have a place in their life, in your life, because they don't know themselves. And until you get to know who you are as a woman, or get to know who you are as a man, you're always going to constantly just allow anything. And just like the saying goes, until you know what you want, until you know what you want and who you are and what you're focused, you will settle for anything. Until you learn who you are, what you want, and where you're going, you're always going to allow other people to pull you in every direction. You're going to allow people to get you unfocused. You're going to allow people that are negative to stay in your life. Not that we don't go through negative situations. Everybody does. We're human beings. But we have to understand that that's not their vibration all the time. We can't keep people in our life that always have this agenda, always complaining, always miserable, never growing, never accountable, never taking responsibility for themselves. And from one grown person to another, from one person that has elevated, I have no problem with saying that I was a very immature person, because I know that I've evolved. I know that I've grown. I know that I've elevated. And it takes a person who has experienced some personal growth to say that. I know that I was very immature. I know that I was very negative. I know I had a very poor attitude. And of course, because of that, when you're in that stage of not knowing yourself, lack of self-awareness, lack of your own self-esteem, until you get to know who you are, you're always going to draw people also that don't know who they are, or a person who is a controller or a manipulator, because they know that you're lacking in self-esteem, because they know that you won't say no. Because of so many situations, they'll stick around because they know they can control you. They know that they can say whatever they want to you, and it's going to get under your skin. They know that. And I had to learn that for myself. When people would say things to me and I would get myself all riled up and all pissed off and all of those things, when people cannot have the control and the power over my mind until I give it to them. That was like a big light bulb moment for me. And I had to grow into that reasoning, because I thought all the time, because I was around people who didn't protect me, I always felt like I was in this war zone, this fight mode, that I was ready to come at people with both fists, guns blazing. I was always ready for the smoke. I was always ready to fight. I was always ready with an attitude because the people around me did not protect me. So I felt like I had to be in the zone all the time. I had to be on guard all the time, ready to fight and box people up when you don't. Welcome in, Monique. How are you doing? Good to see you too. I always felt like I had to be in this war zone all the time. Always ready, always ready, always ready. But then when I shifted my mindset, I don't have to be on guard all the time with everybody. Okay? I don't have to tell people my business. There's a lot of things that you learn once you step into your own maturity and know who you are. Who cares? Who cares what other people think about you? Who cares what other people are doing? And I had to become accountable for that part too. We look at other people and you see them achieving things in their life. You see them happy, you see them whatever the case may be, but you're sitting there watching them. You're evaluating them. You're jealous of them. You're angry because of whatever reason, because of what they have, their cars, their this, the material things. But what about your own? What about your own mindset? What about your own focus? I had to learn as a grown woman that I don't want what somebody else has. I want what I'm supposed to have. I want what is meant to be for me. And the same thing I say to all of you as well. You should want what is meant to be for you. You should want what is meant to be for you. And that's it. I did that for so many years. I think I just got out of that zone probably maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. I used to always watching what other people were doing, even on social media. What are they doing? What is their topics? What makes them happy? And then trying to assimilate to that, trying to conform myself to other people. Basically, trying to make yourself seem as happy as other people. And that never works until you learn how to be happy in your own skin with what you like, your personality, however you want to dress, however you want to look, whatever you want to talk about. You got to be on that wavelength to know, what am I about? Who am I? And that changed the trajectory of my life. My life shifted and changed once I realized I don't have to be anybody but me. And I wish that there were more people that were like that. I wish more women and more men would have enough courage, enough confidence, enough self-love to say, I just got to be me, And that's like, recently I've been on that wavelength that, when I'm feeling it, like sometimes I have my natural hair. Sometimes I straighten it. Sometimes I'm in my unit, sometimes in my wigs, because that's what I want to do. I'm not looking on social media. I'm not looking at what the people on the job are doing. I'm not doing anything but being me in my own zone. And I think a lot of people don't even know how to be in their own zone, be in their own lane, knowing what they like, Hi, Mom's Journey. How are you doing? A lot of people don't know how to be themselves. And for many, many years, I grew up not ever being my own self. That wasn't accepted within my relatives. It was always, you have to be like your brother. You have to be like your sister, your cousin. You have to be what other people like you to be. And then when you go into your adulthood, you take those same ideas and behaviors, and it's very toxic. It's toxic to try to live up to other people's standards. It's toxic to try to live up to what other people think you should be. And I think that's the reason for so many problems in this world. People are walking around trying to be something that they're not. Don't try to be something that you're not. Don't dress like a group of people. Be an individual. And I talk to the ladies too. Learn to accept your own hair texture, your own body shape. I always talk about body positivity. Everybody is not going to be, a Coke bottle. Everybody is not going to be whatever. Focus on your health. focus on your happiness from your own personal peace of mind. And I had to learn that for myself. Until I could be happy with me, nothing else could shift, okay? Let's see what I missed in the comment section. I know I missed some comments. Yes, good to see you, Monique. Yeah, you don't mess with a lot of people. Yeah, especially some family. They're the worst. Miss 702 says, "Oh my God, I hate that them one-sided competitions." Yeah, I had to learn that I'm not in competition with anybody but me. And what I mean when I say that, I'm only comparing myself to who I was yesterday and always seeking to vibrate higher, always seeking to elevate, always seeking to be a better version of me. Not because it makes other people happy, but because it makes me happy. If something starts to irritate me about my own personality, I'm the one that has to be mature enough to say, you know, that's not good. You know, you need to do better than that. And then I start working on myself. I call my therapist, I call a friend, an accountability partner. But it's about us stepping into our own skin and having conversations with ourselves, being mature enough to say, I need to grow. I need to elevate. I need to be more responsible than this. I need to treat myself better. These people on my planet will not drive my car, aka my mind. I'm good on other people's thoughts. Yeah, we cannot let other people get into our head. And I did that for such a long time, you know, trying to please people who already don't like you. And I always said that that's something that does not make any sense. You cannot make people happy until you learn how to be happy yourself. You first have to be happy. You have to first love yourself. You have to first respect yourself. You have to know what you want. And I can't speak for anybody but Marlene. I had to go silent for a long time. I had to go silent, go ghost, like just fall off the map. After I went through a really hard period of time in my life. And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people, when they're going through stuff, they just hop from one romantic relationship to another. You got to sit down sometimes and ask yourself, what role did I play and why this relationship didn't work out? And what also did they do? Why did I accept that? Why did I think that was okay? And that's how we experience personal growth, and we stop repeating broken behavior, accepting things that we shouldn't. I know for me, a long time, I didn't think that I deserved better. I didn't think I deserved a good person because that's just, I don't know. I just didn't believe I deserved a good person. Where I always would try to self-sabotage a relationship, you know, say that somebody was going to do something because of what somebody else did. And that's being broken. That's being toxic. You know, blaming somebody for what your ex did or what your parents did or siblings or other people in your life or in your community do. That doesn't mean that every single person is the same, whether it be a romantic, friendship, a job. We have to vibrate higher. We have to have better thinking and attitudes. Yeah, because it's just not going to work. Yes. Yes, people will destroy you if you let them. And that's why I really wanted to cover this topic, because I think that it's so important to say this, that we don't have to take the things that we do. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I know I talk to my male audience as well, and I say the same thing. You don't have to stay in relationships, no matter what type of relationship it is, whether it's your parents, siblings, cousins, friends, when they're really not your friend. They're users and opportunists. And stop being in places where you're actually not loved. And I'm going to cover that probably on Wednesday. I think Wednesday I'm going to talk about something along those lines. But I do think that it's important for us to understand that some people are just not good for us. Some people don't deserve to be in our life. Some people are not good for us. Some people will be actually poisonous They'll be feeding you the poison all the time, berating you, talking down to you, being disrespectful, stopping you from your personal growth, always talking about you, embarrassing you, sharing your business, never supporting you, never encouraging you, but you still steady keep those people in your life. We have to stop thinking that we have to take that. You don't have to take that, no matter who it is. I don't care if it's your mom to your romantic relationship. If somebody is not good and healthy in your life, supportive and understanding, compassionate, or helping you to be a better person, don't keep them around. Some people are just not good for you. And I had to go about that in my life, believing that. And it's a hard thing to accept as grown women and grown men, that people that I have loved don't love me. That's a hard pill to swallow. I don't know about y'all. I can't speak for anybody but myself. But there's certain individuals that just, no, you don't deserve a space in my life. Hi, Metro. How are you doing? There's a lot of people that don't deserve a space in our life, and we need to release them. We need to let them go. Stop telling them your business. And sometimes it's not that they're a bad person, but there are people that will sabotage your mental health. I had to be very careful about that, because our mental health is so important, because when we are not functioning and thinking properly, it affects everything. Because if you're mentally off, you're not going to perform to the best of your ability. You won't be able to use your gifts. Your self-esteem will diminish. There's a lot of things that it's so important that if you are around toxic people, controlling people, using people, you get affected in so many aspects, not just mentally, but sometimes that can affect you financially, because they're always dry begging, with their hand out. I want, and not asking, demanding. I don't know how many of you have relatives or friends or whoever in your life that they always have their hand out, not asking, like, can you help me? They're like actually saying, you have to. And if you say no, it's always they just go away and come back for in a letter, maybe 15, 20 more minutes. And then they want to know why. Why can't you help me? You have a good job. Like, that's toxic behavior. And we have to cut those people off. Like, you love them, but at the same time, they're toxic, and they need to change their behaviors. They need to learn to grow up and be accountable. They do. They need to learn to be accountable. Hey, PMC, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Metro says, I despise liars and cheaters with constant dishonesty, with lots of greedy, selfish sympathy. Yes. I cannot take a person who just, when a person doesn't keep their word, that's a deal breaker for me. I go by people's word. And I understand that there are some times where you just can't, because maybe you don't feel good or whatever the situation is. But I do not deal well with individuals that say something and do another. You know, I would rather somebody say, I'm not sure, I don't know, but I cannot stand when a person says yes and they really mean no, or they don't want to do it. Then just say you don't want to do it. I'd rather a person be honest and straight with me. No, I don't want to do that, or I don't like that, than to say yes and be on board and set you up and you're waiting and they don't show up. Well, I didn't want to do that anyways. Then why didn't you say that from the beginning? And a lot of people have to learn, they need to learn that first about themselves, you know, to be straight. You know, I'm like, no, I can't do that, or no, I don't like it, or whatever. I can't afford that. I'm not going to go there, whatever the case may be. And if you don't know how to be your own true and authentic self, it's not a good thing. That's why I have to set the record straight with priorities and setting boundaries, and stay away from those dishonest individuals hurting good souls and hearts. And that includes in relationships as well. Yes, Metro. I agree 100%. Yes, bad experiences will often make us talk ourselves out of something that can be beneficial to us. Yeah. What do they say? You can talk yourself out of a blessing. You can talk yourself out of a gift. And everything can be right about this. But we think sometimes when something seems so good to be true that it couldn't be that way. And sometimes it is. Sometimes some things is right in front of you. It's your own gift. It's your own blessing. All you have to do is reach out and receive it and take it. But we will sabotage our own winning. You'll sabotage your own success, your own elevation, just because you're jaded, just because of maybe a negative attitude. Maybe you have bad experiences, or maybe you haven't worked on your inside. Work on your own personal healing from damage that has been done to you, from traumas, from heartache, from whatever. And I know from experience, it's not the easiest thing to be like, to accept that that this person hurt me, or that I hurt another individual, or somebody didn't support you or treat you the way that you deserve. That hurts, and I know that is hard, but you have to heal from that so that you don't show up in this world damaged, so that you don't look at every woman or every man and say you're just like. I hate when people put a blanket statement and say all women or all men. No, no, no. You dealt with a certain person or a certain group of people that were low vibrational, that were negative, that were immature. In fact, sometimes we deal with little boys and little girls and put the label because they look, in their in the reality, in real life, they look and appear to be a grown woman, or they appear to be a grown man, but actually they aren't. Some people never step into the shoes of womanhood. Some people never step into the shoes of manhood. They don't know what it's like to be a man. They don't know what it's like to be a woman, because they don't even know who they are yet. And a lot of people will not receive that, but it's the truth. And that's why some people will get set off when you say that. They're not men. They're not women. They're little boys and little girls. And that's all there is to it. Yep. Bad experiences will often make us talk ourselves. Oh, I just read that one. Yeah. Oh, don't blame you there, PMC. I've been working and I've been training. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much, Miss Jackie. I appreciate it. Yes, PMC. Those that don't value you don't deserve your presence. Yes. I think that that's a very important comment. Those that don't value you don't deserve your presence. So what does that mean? That means that we have to stop showing up for people that don't appreciate us. Like my title says, some people don't deserve you. Some people don't deserve you. Some people don't value you. And when people show up, a certain way, and we see it, we will talk ourselves out and start blaming ourselves. We'll start going inside and say, doubting our own self. Oh, I'm treated this way because I do this or do that. No, that's toxic behavior. You're not to blame for what another person does. You're not to blame for another person's actions and behaviors and negativity. You can't fix. You can't heal. You can't encourage. You can't make other people do the right thing. They have to want to do that for themselves. I'm glad I have more on in a better relationship, moved on in a better relationship, and that is better to my ex, because we love, care, and value each other. Listen with great communication. Awesome, Metro. Yeah, that's the thing. We have to learn that. Sometimes we'll hold on to these negative people in our life. We'll hold on for dear life and don't want to let go, when you could have some great people. You could have some great people that is right there if you would just release and let go of this bad person, this negative person, or this terrible job, or these terrible individuals in our life. You will be open to see that there are people out there that will appreciate you. There are people in your life that would be grateful for you. There are people out there that will respect you. But a lot of times we'll hold on to these people waiting for them to change, waiting for them to grow up, waiting for them to do the right thing, waiting for them to love us, and they never will. These people are just around because they're opportunists. They're users, they're manipulators, and they will never change. Actually, most of the time, it gets worse. They get more angry, they get more bitter, they get more controlling. No. And you got to leave them alone. Yes, we're all on the same page, Metro. Yes. Yeah, they will destroy us. They will. Yes, never supply a demand from anyone, friend, family, or acquaintance. Yes, never. If somebody demands that you do something, we have to be mature enough to just step back and be like, whoa, no, you're not going to control me. And there are a lot of people that just don't understand that. We cannot control other people, or other people feel that they can control us. And I know for a very long time, I would let my family, right? I would let my relatives control me because I felt like I had to, because this is my family. I have to be there and be supportive and be understanding and be forgiving of them. But they don't give me that same love and compassion. No. And that's the reason why you just got to leave them alone. No problem, PMC. No problem. Yes, with too much red flags and toxic behavior, it's messing with our mental health. Yes, we have to stay away from these toxic individuals and these toxic people. And when we see the red flags, okay, I don't know, but I know when I was younger, before I knew myself, I would see red flags. But I thought because I liked them, or you even will say you love them when you don't even know what love is. But you'll say you love people, but they're not loving you. They're not respecting you. They don't appreciate your boundaries. They don't support you. They don't encourage you. They're not adding any benefit into your life. Actually, all they're doing is taking from you and using you. And you got to leave those people alone. Hey, Lisa, how are you doing? Yes. Yes, exactly. Mental health is so important. And a lot of people will definitely focus all their energy on money. And don't get me wrong, everybody. I'm a person, I'm about that bag. I'm about my money too, because we need money to live. But we can't let it all be about money. What about spending quality time with the people who love you? What about that? I understand you may have to work, you may have all of these responsibilities, but also don't forget to spend time with people who support you. And I used to spend so much time and effort in my life trying to complain and argue with people, or trying to be there for people who aren't there for me. And I had to cut that off. You know, some people, they don't deserve to be in your life. They don't deserve to know your business. They don't deserve to know anything about you. And we have to walk away from that. And no, I was like, I'm not going to respond. I don't have to answer your phone calls. I don't have to answer your texts. I don't have to tell you my business. See, I'm on the road for elevation and personal growth. And the people who are not growing, the people who are making demands of you, the people who are trying to control you, is just because they have no control of themselves. Okay? Yep. Cropping users out of the picture is a huge weight off your shoulders. It sure is, PMC. It sure is. Hey, Slice of Farming, how are you doing? Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a great day. Yes, if you don't have morals and integrity, you'll subject yourself to those that don't value you. And most importantly, if you don't have self-respect, what do you have? Self-esteem is important. Yeah. Until you know yourself, see, until you have a ground to stand on, like knowing yourself, loving yourself, respecting yourself, all of those things, until you have that within yourself, you don't have anything. Nobody can't make you have standards. Nobody can't make you have set boundaries. Nobody. Yes. Yeah, that's what we should reach out to people who value us. And I did that for such a long time. I was always trying to fix I was pouring so much energy in trying to fix other people and trying to ask them, why don't you support me? Why don't you understand me? Why aren't you there for me? And the people who actually were, I wasn't saying, thank you for being in my life. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for loving me and spending time with those folks. But yet I'm focusing all my energy into people who hate me, people who are jealous of me. No. No. Let's stop doing that. Let's end that. Not only do they feel like they can control us, but they'll get angry when we call them out on it. Yeah, they don't want to be exposed. That's what that is, Jackie. They don't want to be exposed. Hey, Nate, how are you doing? Blessings. Yes, yes, energy transfer. Yes, I'm very, as I'm getting older, I really pay attention to people's energy. And if people's energy is off, or if a person is trying to do like what they call like a backhanded compliment, or they're just negative, or they like to talk about other people, you know, embarrass other people to elevate themselves, you know, like to make themselves seem bigger and better. No, I don't like those type of individuals. To me, that's very, very low energy, very negative, and I can't. It throws me off balance. Yes. Hi, Shonda. How are you doing? Welcome. Happy Monday. Yes. Yes, we can replace money, but we can't replace the people that are gone. Yeah, we can't. That's why I always say it's so important for us to stop wasting our energy on people that don't care, and spend your time in the real time, you know, showing appreciation and saying thank you for being loving to me. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for being understanding. And yes, I understand you got to work, you got bills, you have all those things, but make sure you're taking your time off to spend time with those that matter to you, those that value you, those who care, those who support you, even sometimes when we are not thinking the right way or doing the right thing, you know. Thank you so much, PMC. I appreciate you. Yes. Yeah. I appreciate all of you, all my mods and everybody. And I wanted to say that, you know, I wanted to do this live stream because there are so many people who just don't know that they have a value. They just don't know that there's a reason and a purpose for them. And I want you all to understand that too. You have a reason and you have a purpose. You do. You have a reason and you have a purpose. So don't let anybody tell you anything different. And there are people that try to come in our life. They try to cut us down. They try to break us down. They try to make us feel like we're nothing. But actually, a lot of people, they get upset with us because they can't control our power. They can't control our energy. They can't control our money. They can't control who we're friends with. They can't control that we're elevating and we're growing without them. And I think that's the issue. They don't like that you're growing, you're happy, you're at peace, you know? And that's their problem. Oh, okay, Metro. Jackie says, when we realize our reason and purpose, then we can step into our destiny. Yeah. And that's, I think that's what it's all about. When we realize why we're here, I think that's a big deal. You got to realize why you're here. What is my purpose? And a lot of people don't get silent. I remember when I was younger and my dad used to say that. He says, you need to go silent. You need to be by yourself sometimes. And when you're young, you don't get it. You don't get it until you get it. I remember it was years later, probably like 15 years later, before that registered, before it resonated with me. And I was like, spend time by yourself to get to know you. Spend time by yourself to heal, to get your peace, to get through, to get an answer, you know, so that you can vibrate where you need to be instead of being down here. Instead of vibrating low, you can always vibrate higher if you believe you can. But sometimes we can't elevate and grow and be at the place that we need to be because we have people who are pulling us down. You know, those crabs in the barrel. They're always holding on to you. People who are trying to win on your account. They're what do you call it? As Boss Life Online says, they're trying to ride on the coattails of your success. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to win on your account. They're trying to win on your hard work and take like it. Oh, if it wasn't for me, or then that's when they'll say that's my sister or my brother, my cousin, my best friend, when they didn't do anything. They didn't do anything to help you. There's a lot of people who like to always take the praise. And if it wasn't for me, they wouldn't have got that without me. No, they did that with their own hard work. They did that by, you know, sticking to it, being consistent and all of those things, you know. There's a lot of people out there that need some help. A lot of people need a therapist. Yep. Especially, it's always good making new friends. And that's the thing. I had to understand that part as well. There are some times where we think people are our friends and they're not. Okay? And people use that word friend so loosely. That's my friend. That's my friend. That is not your friend. They don't care nothing about you. They're not supportive. They're not understanding. No, that's not your friend. And we will think people are our friends and they're not. That's not your friend. Yes, they are hiding behind a mask. Yeah. Until the mask falls off. Yeah. Exactly, Shonda. A lot of people like to, they don't give people credit when they actually created it. And it's a lot of people. That's happened to me many times, and I know it's happened to many of you, chat family, that somebody will take your idea, don't give you credit for it, and then everybody is praising them, and it's not even their idea. It doesn't feel good, but guess what? You already know you are the originator. That's why I always say walk in silence. Don't tell people what you're doing or the ideas that you have. Just work on it and do it. Yep, when we spend times by ourselves, it lets us hear things we couldn't previously hear. Silence has answers also. Yes. Yep. Yes, and that's the thing. We have to realize that maybe in the past we were immature. Maybe in the past we were negative. We were so many other things. But as you grow, as you heal, as you get to know yourself, you realize that to be better, I have to release you. To be better, I have to let these people go. To be better, I need to work on myself. To be better, I have to accept accountability for my wrong, and I have to change those bad behaviors. So not all the time it's other people. Sometimes the reason why we're not growing and being our best self is because we won't make changes. And that's a hard pill to swallow. I know I didn't like that pill. That was a very sour pill to swallow, a very harsh pill to swallow, that I need to do some growing. I need to do some healing. I need to do some maturing. And until I made a decision that it was time for me to grow up, that it was time for me to stop blaming other people, and it was time for me to say, this is what I'm doing. I'm doing the wrong thing. And that takes a grown woman or a grown man, you know, a mature one, I should say, a very mature one. Hi, Maria. How are you doing? Welcome. Hey, sis, Tanya. Welcome in. Happy Monday. Yes, sometimes we don't have to tell everything if we don't feel like it. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to say it. That's the thing about it. We don't have to say anything we don't want to say. If you just want to be quiet and say nothing, you don't have to. And it's those same individuals, as soon as you're around them, they want to know what you're doing, what you're working on. I haven't seen you for a while. What this? Are you in a relationship? A lot of people just want to know your business so that they can go and spread it to other people. No, When people are asking you your business, and we know the people who are those reporters, they just go and report, ask you questions so that, and they're itching. They can't wait to get away from there to tell your business. If somebody is talking about other people, they will be talking about you. We have to pay attention. And I know that everybody talks. Everybody talks, but are they always talking negative, or they're always talking down, or always talking about other people and what they should be doing? And there's nobody on this earth that isn't that is perfect. Nobody is perfect. So the people who always act like they always do the right thing and other people do the wrong thing, those are people you got to stay away from. You have to. I'm doing great, Maria. I hope you're doing well. Yes. Yes. All the answers. All the answers. Yeah. I always tell my friend to remain silent, that silence is golden. Sometimes you just need to, I had to learn that too when it came to my relatives on the job. There's certain things like, no. And they'll be asking you what you have going on. Nothing. What are you doing tonight? Nothing. Are you in a relationship? Nope. Don't tell other people. And my dad told me this when I was real young. Never tell somebody something you don't want repeated. And I go back and I think about this. Now my dad is no longer with me, but I think about that all the time. Before I open up my mouth, is this something I want repeated? If I don't want it repeated, don't tell anybody. Keep it to yourself. But if you don't mind it being repeated, then go ahead, tell them. Yes. Exactly, Metro. Thank you so much, Shonda. I appreciate it. And we have to learn that. We have to learn that we are good enough. I know for a really long time, I didn't feel like I was good enough. I don't know who has ever struggled with low self-esteem, depression, just not feeling that you're good enough, not feeling like you are capable, when every single person has intelligence. Every single person has certain gifts and talents. And there are people who want to keep you stuck. They want to keep you stuck in a negative space. They want you to feel bad about yourself. They want you to feel low. They want you to not succeed. They don't want you to elevate. They don't want you to do better. Actually, they don't want you to do better than them. You know, some individuals, they're fine when you're on the same playing field, when you're on the same level. But anytime you start elevating, they don't like you anymore. Actually, that's when they become jealous. That's when they start talking, oh, you think you're better? Actually, I am. You know, when you become better, you have to do better. When you know better, you do better. That's what a lot of people don't realize. When you know better, when you love yourself more, you have to be willing to shift. You have to be willing to change. You have to be willing to elevate. It's not easy. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, it's easy to make changes. It's easy to change your behaviors. It's easy to be positive when you feel negative. It's not easy. But I have to always look back at myself and say, do I not feel positive because of certain individuals? We have to pinpoint who is making me feel negative. Are other people giving me negative energy? Are other people putting me down? Are other people making me feel less than? That's why I'm stuck right now. I had to be honest with myself. It's certain individuals and my relatives, people on the job, other people that I know of, that's the reason why I was stuck. That's the reason why I was negative. I was negative because of the people in my environment and listening to their negativity, feeding off their negative energy and their laziness, and just not doing the things that they need to do because they're not trying to grow. You know? I was always told in school, we were told to keep our hands and feet and negative comments to ourselves. Yes, yes, yes. They are happy when others are sad and mad. Yeah, what do they call those people? oh, I can't think of the word, but people who enjoy other people's demise. I can't think of the word right now, but it's a lot of people out there that they love to see when a person is in a negative situation. They love to see when people are not winning in their life. They love it. It makes them happy to see others in that space. They love to see other people not winning. They love to see other people miserable. They love to see when you're a complainer so that they can laugh at you. And I had to learn that for myself. If I'm in a bad space, I can change it. And the same thing for all of you chat family too. If you are in a bad space, you can change it. You can change it if you want to. If you want to do better, you can do better. Hi, Kyle. If you want to do better, you can do better. If you want to grow, you can grow. If you want to elevate, you can elevate. If you want to forgive, you can forgive. You know, all of it is up to us. And I had to make that decision for myself. Like, how long am I going to be miserable? How long am I going to be angry? How long am I going to be mean? How long am I going to bring up a situation that hurt 10, 15 years ago? I was the one that had to say, it's time for me to make a decision that I'm going to heal that and release it. You give it back to your higher power or whatever it is that you believe in. Sometimes our problem, our burden, our struggle is too heavy for us, and we have to give it to something that is bigger than us. That's what works for me. I don't know if that will work for you, but I know for me, I have to give my pain. I have to give the things that I can't control. I have to give it back to my higher power. I can't. I was like, this is too much for me. There are certain things that we cannot do because we're human beings. I can't. I was like, I can't. I just have to do what I can do within my power. And other people, what they want to do and their negativity and their drama, their foolishness, they're wanting to just accept the negativity. I can't deal with that, because that brings me down. That affects my mental health. That affects my peace. That affects everything in my life. It makes me feel bad about myself. So I had to go about not letting other people bring me down with their negativity, with their making a decision. Some people just wake up every day and they make a decision to be angry. They make a decision to be evil. They make a decision to not be positive. Not saying that everything is sunshine and roses. I'm not saying that. Of course, life is hard, but we always can make a decision to say, I'm going to be at peace. I'm going to do the best that I can. I'm not going to worry about what I can't control. I'm not. I had to stop that. And I had to stop and cut off people that don't want to be positive. If you don't want to be positive in your life, that's your choice. I said, I choose to be positive. I choose to forgive. I choose to love myself. I choose to be my own friend. Those are choices that we have to make for ourselves. And there are certain individuals that are just not good for us because they only want people around them that will complain. They only want people around them that like to talk about the past and who they hate and what other people are doing. It's like they sit and wait and they study people who they don't like. And every single thing that they do, oh, you see what they're doing? You see what they're doing? That's so draining. Leave people alone. People that you know aren't growing. People who you know are unhealed. People who you know don't change. Leave them alone. Leave them alone and live your own life. Live your life on your terms. What makes you happy? And what I had to learn for myself is that certain individuals, quote unquote, family, there's certain people that I can't keep them in my life. I can't keep them in my life because they're not happy. If somebody is not happy, me being in their life is going to make me unhappy. Me keeping them around is making me be stuck. It's making me stop from using my gifts, from seeing my blessings, for going after my dreams. And I can't allow it. I can't allow certain people, you know. I had to learn that I cannot make other persons love themselves. I have to love me first. While I do love certain people, right? I do. I love them, but I cannot love them more than I love myself. And that's what I was doing. Sometimes we will be so supportive, or we'll be thinking about what a person, other people in our life want and need, but we're not thinking about what we want and need. Thank you so much, Metro. We're not thinking about what we want and need. What do you want? What do you need? What are you going through? And there are a lot of individuals that they only have their hand out and thinking about what they want, thinking about what they desire, what all of those things. And we just have to cut those people off. Yes. And you can tell. You can tell by the way people act. And if they're showing up very grimy, very, never supportive of you, never a kind word, never asking, is there anything that they can do for you? A lot of people don't understand that support is more than just financial. Yes, it's important if we can to help people from time to time financially, but also, what about asking questions? How are you doing? Are you okay? Do you need something? How is your mental health? How can I be there for you? That's somebody who really loves you. You wanting them to be their level of happy. And I had to learn that for myself. I have to be around individuals that want me to be happy, not people who are only seeking for me to make them happy. It has to go both ways. If I cannot grow, if I'm not growing, if I'm not supported, if I'm not encouraged, if they're not helping me to be motivated, if they're only thinking, you motivate me, you encourage me, you support me, but they're never giving me back that same energy, I got to leave them alone. Those are people who are not good for me. And those are people that are not good for you. If you have individuals in your life and they're not saying things like, you matter to me, you're valuable, you're doing a great job, I'm proud of you, you matter in my life, I'm proud. If you're not getting that positive support, that positive emotional support, or when you're going through something, they'll just show up for you just to listen. Just, to call you to say, I was just thinking about you. Did you have a good day? Those are people you need to keep in your life. But if you only have people who will call you, I need, can you give, can you give, can you give? Can you take me here? Can you do this? Can you do that? And they never say, how are you doing? Can I do something for you? We have to open our eyes and realize that some people are not good for us. And it doesn't matter how much they say they love us. Love is shown by action. Love is an action word. And if they're not fulfilling behind that love, that's toxic. And a lot of people don't understand that they are toxic. And that's why they get mad when you realize that you don't love me. You're just trying to use me. You're just trying to control me. You just want to manipulate me. You just want to know my business. Yeah, it's all of those things. And when you realize what you're worth, when you realize your value, when you realize your own potential, I don't have to put up with this. And you don't. You don't have to put up with it. You don't have to put up with their negativity. You don't have to put up with their low vibration. You don't have to put up with them always complaining and never changing. You don't have to deal with people who are inconsistent, that never show up and support you. No, you don't. If somebody is not a gift to you, somebody is not a blessing, if somebody is not supportive and encouraging and pushing you forward to your goals, and they make you feel good, that's very important. If people don't make you feel good about yourself, if they give you backhanded compliments or they try to embarrass you, those are not people who are good for us. And we have to realize that. So, yeah, that's what I came on to talk about today. I definitely appreciate every single one of you, chat family. Thank you so much for your support. Shout out to my mods, all of you. All of my mods. Shout out to anybody who is watching this live or in the replay. If you have not subscribed to the Marlene Saunders Show, we do lives Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes I have to have a schedule change because of my busy schedule, but I always will let you know on the community tab, and we do lives like that. Thank you, Lisa, Jackie, Shonda, Metro, Miss Tamika, anybody who is here live. I definitely appreciate every single one of you. And I want to say that to you. If anybody is feeling today like I'm not getting supported, I'm not getting encouraged, or there's certain individuals that I feel that they're using me, have enough courage to say, I don't have to take it. You don't have to take it. And don't. And don't. And that's all there is to it. And don't. Show up and show out for yourself. This is Marlene of the Marlene Saunders Show, where we have real talk, real conversations, and you're welcome to it. If you're new here, share this with a friend. I would love to have more people over here and become a part of the chat family. I appreciate you all. Everybody have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all tomorrow at the premiere. I think it's at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but it's definitely already available. So I'll see you at the premiere tomorrow and then back on Wednesday for a brand new live stream. Thank you guys. Everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.